Howdy. What you're about to see is kind of the story of a band. The members of this band had all played individually for over a decade and had gone through their own stuff with the music business and labels and whatnot. And we're frustrated and pretty much we're done with playing music. But when they came together, they realized that they weren't done with playing music. They were done with playing the game of the music industry. And they loved music. And when they found each other, they realized that they still had that passion and the love for creating music together. They took off. And when I say they, it sounds ridiculous because it's we. I was in the band. Hi. We were probably the only band I know that over time there were fewer and fewer places that would allow us to play in their venues and fewer places that we would agree to play in their venues because we stuck to our rules and to our beliefs and to being a real rock and roll band, something that we thought was missing in the world. And we were very confident that if we were a real rock and roll band, everything would work out. And it only took us a decade to realize that we were going deaf for nothing.
Sacramento, what we do is we act like we're fucking rock stars because nothing can be further than the truth, but you act like we're rock stars too. Tell that shit right there to turn back and fuck around and pay attention to what I'm saying. She needs the rock and roll. Yeah, you blondie, you listen to me. This is important. You need the rock and roll. Now people, do you want to have a rock and roll party or not? Yeah. Check this shit out.
When you play rock and roll, a lot of times the kind that we do, we light shit on fire and break things. That it's not going to be taken seriously, regardless.
Right.
You know, no one will even know that the first album was pretty much all about my mom and dad's divorce. Jewel doesn't rock. She simply, it's like Kid Rock. Not a kid, doesn't rock. You know what I mean? That's not rock. I mean, it thumps, it smashes, it crunches, it does all sorts of things, but it doesn't rock. I mean, to me. And obviously,
we're opinionated people and we have our own definition of what rock is.
So what is rock?
I'm probably one of the most critical people. It's something that you can't necessarily put into words. You just know if it does or not. And I think the first thing to me is if it's going to rock, it has to be real. It comes from your balls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sexual thing. It's all these bands that are supposedly rock and roll and dangerous aren't dangerous. They're not frightening. I don't know how you can rage against the machine that you are.
Yeah.
You are the machine. I try and be careful about how I objectify things and classify them, you know. And, you know, Otis Redding rocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he's not considered a rock and roll guy, you know what I mean? But he rocked.
Rock and roll doesn't have fucking skateboarders off to the side, guys doing backflips on motorcycles, selling tennis shoes, and fucking thongs.
You know, what Magnolia Thunderfinger is a completely realized version of what Go wanted to be, I think. Magnolia is a great band. Go was a really good band. And by the standards back then, they were a great band. I mean, that's the other thing, too. It's like the bar rose, which was exactly what needed to happen. And that's what does happen when you do something consistently. And I used to always tell the bands, you know, this, it's like running in a race, and if you run alone you run so fast. If you run with someone else you run a little faster. And it's just like, you know, when you can see what other people are doing, when you can see what, you know, what the standards are, you know, unconsciously I think you rise to those standards.
Yeah, you can see it. See, it's on.
Hey Skid, tell us about your day.
Okay, I'll tell you about my day. Okay, you guys woke up a lot earlier than I did.
Yeah.
I woke up for the first time around 9:30. Most of you guys were showered and went to breakfast. I went back to bed, woke up at around 11:30. We took showers, we got out of town, we went and picked up our equipment and got our $16 from last night.
Fucking hey, right.
We left, where was that, Eugene? We left Eugene, we got on the road, we came here. It took us, how long, an hour and a half to get here?
About that, yeah.
An hour and a half, 2 hours to get here. This is Terracom. We got here early. They have our name misprinted as Magnolia Thunderfuck on the flyers. But after that, we got here and loaded our stuff in, and the guy told us that there was a new dancing place over around the corner that was free to go to. You can't see
Beyond there.
Yeah. It was free to go to, so we went there and sat there and watched people and naked girls, women dance.
The people didn't dance.
The people didn't dance, just the naked girls danced. And I played pool. And how was I, Terry?
Skid pretty much owned the pool table.
Okay, so what is this?
It's piss.
It's like a regenerated kidney in there, bottom.
See?
Yeah.
It's 20-year-old
Oh,
piss.
man, I'm gonna throw up.
And why have you kept this?
I don't know. It might be the cure to cancer. Well, the story why, when I was a kid, I used to listen to this radio show, rock music, and we'd call in and request, and I didn't want to miss anything, so I would piss in an empty Coke bottle, and this is what happened one night, and filled it up and put it behind my speaker, and then got kicked out of my house shortly thereafter, and didn't go back for a long time. And when I was moving my shit out, I found it and realized that it was like 5-year-old piss, and I thought, I opened it up and it was really disgusting, and I thought, well, if someone fucks with me, I could get him back real good with that, so I just have held on to it. It used to be full. Someone fucked with me about that much.
I'm surprised it's not almost empty.
All right. Well, it's a prized weapon. Yeah.
most
Someone's got to
deserving.
really piss me off. Get it?
This is my friend Rick Ivanisovich from Oleander. He's a guitar player, lead guitar player. Principal songwriter, good friend of mine. My best friend. You're my best friend, Rick.
You're my best friend too.
I'm Skid. Remember, you might remember me depending on the editing. I'm a lot fatter or skinnier. How fucking cool is it to have a gold record?
Just it's awesome. I mean, it's
Don't, dude. Don't look at the camera. You're talking to me. How fucking cool is it to have a gold record?
it's very cool, but at the same time, these days it's almost like it's not enough.
What do you dig
I
besides the Beatles?
I love. How'd you know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, old '70s rock. I love it. Like today, I was like just jamming with some old.
Like Nazareth?
No, Thin Lizzy. No, Thin Lizzy. Boys are back in town.
Do you think that rock and roll was meant to be heard live, or do you think it's something that's from a recorded standpoint?
That's a great fucking question. I think rock and roll, in the essence, is a live thing because there's so many albums where you hear the one version, but then when you see it live, it's so fucking different, and it's got balls and it's got hair and meat and
Like Stranglehold.
well, that's actually good on
Yeah.
both versions.
Tell me. I'll get him. Doug! Come here. Hey! It's about fucking time. I'm doing an interview with Rick and I want you to come in here. What's up with you, Mike? I'm a painter. White boys. This is Doug Eldridge.
Hi,
He's the
Doug.
bass player.
We'll be somewhere like in the Midwest going to a movie in like a cab or something, and the guy will have the radio on and our song will come on. And it's like,
As he's
wow, we
sparking-
actually...
as the cabbie's sparking up the
Now
joint.
here's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's right.
Here's the
Right.
question I want to ask you. You're like, dude, that's fucking odd.
That's us, man. Do we got to
You
pay
do
for the
that?
fare?
You do that?
No, never.
Because I fully would. I'd be
No,
like,
I got-
motherfucker, that's me. Free ride. Free ride.
That's the rule, man. Free ride.
It's movie companies and booze companies. It's a commodity now. There's no passion about music. There's the pretense that there is, I'm sure, but I mean, you know who sells records now and gets bands signed is lawyers.
Right.
It's all done through lawyers. Now, I don't fucking like lawyers to begin with.
Neither do I.
So, I mean, I've had my share of dealings with music lawyers, and they're the same thing as managers and booking agents. They're fuckers with no talent, but who want to do cocaine with rock stars. And they have no talent, so they become an entertainment lawyer, or they become a manager, so they get to hang out and get the excess pussy and do cocaine, and that's why they do what they do, to feel important.
There's some bands that they don't get any kind of love until you see them live, and they're like, why the fuck isn't this band huge? Like a Magnolia Thunderfinger.
Dude, I know
kind of
about
band, you know
bands
what
like
I'm saying?
that. Ooh. The fact is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. If a label decides that you're going to sell, they'll make it happen. If they want you to sell records, unless you are the fucking worst piece of shit ever, you're going to sell records. Plain and simple.
So you think that payola still is alive and well and the
For
whole
sure.
radio and
It's just not in the form of cash. It's in the form of cocaine and pizza. I mean, there's marketing companies seriously, there's marketing companies that's all they do. The label hires a marketing company to handle all these bands. And the marketing company buys pizza for the entire radio station and gives them tickets to shows. And listen to this. I'm going to come in and bring pizza for everyone. I want you to all take a little break here, a 15-minute break, and I want to play you this. And if they're like, oh yeah, we'll think about it. It's just a big bullshit game. It's like, okay, what they need to do is they need to just get someone like Jennifer Lopez that has no fucking talent whatsoever, and that's what her job should be. She should be going to these places and just flat out sucking guys' cocks to get records on. Because that's what they're holding out for. It's all that shit. It's cocaine, it's pizza, it's beer, it's tickets,
It's
it's
tickets,
t-shirts.
limos to the show, and
It's
all that kind of
horseshit.
stuff.
It's like the reason Valley folded is the same reason why independent labels, they started making money. The big boys went and fucking bought them all up to eliminate the competition. They buy them all up,
drop all those fucking bands except for a couple, and then move along. It's no longer a problem. And it's fucking horseshit. Everything's fucking bullshit. That's the thing. What's going on today? All the fake angst. Everything's fucking bullshit. I just want to see a real rock and roll band.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's tall, he's dark, he's handsome, 100% homosexual, my good buddy, my lover, my man. We got a special day. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice big hand to the big man, the Chico.
I just wasn't feeling it anymore, and I felt like I was kind of neglecting what I had at home, and I felt like in the 4 years that I put in with the band, or 5 years I put in with the band, my son kind of started growing up, and I really didn't know how he got to where he was. It was frustrating. I didn't feel like I had anything to do with raising him, you know, and it was all about just wanting to stay home and watch my kid grow up, you know. And like I say, and back to the original point, is I didn't feel it anymore. I felt like this was starting to turn into more of a business, and it was like a job, and that's the wrong thing to be in the business for, in this music business, you know. And now things are just much more loose, and things are just fun again, you know. That's primarily why I stayed. You know, we kind of all decided that, you know, we're who we are, and we're not going to try to aspire to be anything more, you know. And if it does happen, then it happens. But if it doesn't, then who fucking cares? You know, we really don't care. And that's what I like about it. It's got a lot more looser kind of feel to it, you know. And I think that's what rock's all about, really.
I think you can tell the difference in your playing when you came back.
Yeah.
You really were playing again with passion.
I felt that. Well, most of my biggest influences in rock music are, you know, the bass players. I just kind of drawn to them, you know, like Paul Simon and Sid Vicious. They were just kind of like the, you know, just the mysterious ones, I guess, if you must. No, I started playing bass just out of necessity because no one else would. So that's how I started playing. I've never been an overplayer, never wanted to be a bass soloist, you know. But no, I enjoy it. I just dig that end of it.
You know, you're the tallest and, you know, arguably, some women I've heard say the handsomest person in the band.
Debatably.
That's right, the fat crazy chick.
No, the whole trick is just to ignore everybody. I think that the drummer gets a lot of attention because they hold down the beat. The bass player is just kind of there. He doesn't do a lot of the melody or anything like that. Just kind of like the one kind of holding down the rhythm.
You're sounding so short there, bud.
I am. That's why I chose it. Because I'm tall. I'm short.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Man, it seems like slouching.
It's the weight of that gigantic cock.
Feels good on my testes. My day job? I'm in advertising.
Oh, an ad executive?
Yeah, I'm Darren Stevens. No, I do circulars, stuff like that. It's boring.
Yeah, the scorpion one if you get
Pays the rent.
house on 420, man.
Oh yeah?
$100.
Are you fucking sucking my dick?
No, I'm not.
Why'd you say yes to that?
Because that's what he'd give us.
Heard that music sound system.
Not for $100.
I try and be open usually. This is one time I'm just,
All right.
I won't be open this time.
Okay. I know right now that I could get Chico to do it. He would whine about it, but he'd do it. T-Bone would be like, well, if it's all ages, and then I'd tell him, yeah, it's all ages. And then the day of the show, I'd go, dude, he told me it was all ages, but it's not. It's 18 and over. But then it would be too late, because then we'd do it. So I know that I could get those guys to do it. GB is generally, fuck, I don't care. So if he's got a reason for not doing it, be it his recent withdrawal from alcohol and cigarettes, or just the fact that he just feels that it's a bad idea. I'm not going to make someone go do something they really don't want to do. If it was $500, he'd do it, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Which is pretty sad if you think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my best fucking friend in the entire world, people. Please give a nice hand to my good buddy. We call him Chico. He's gonna solo right here. Here we go.
Why does the drummer get picked on more than
Because drummers
anybody
get
else?
so much more pussy than any of the other guys in the band. It's fucking unbelievable. And there's certain personality traits that go to particular instruments. You know, drummers are notoriously stupid. That's why I started playing guitar first. No.
Then after realizing he didn't have the brains for it, switched to I would love to be a drummer. I wish I were really good at it. I think it's cool.
I've always wanted to be a drummer.
But
Are you kidding this?
Will you make your way up to the front to the microphone periodically?
And I'm about 20% zingers. 80% fucking foot and mouth.
Let's tell you what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah! The man who wants me to pee in his butt. The man with the fucking bullshit stress back problem. Healthiest motherfucker I know, but he's always whining about something. The greatest motherfucking guitar player I've ever seen in my life, and trust me, I've seen 3 or 4. Ladies and gentlemen, really, I want you to fucking go all out and give a big hand to my best friend in the entire world. His name is simply GB.
Because we know what goes along with being signed. It doesn't mean all of a sudden all you get to do is just play your music that you want to do.
By the time we got to starting this band, we were all fed up with it. So it was kind of just like, let's form a band because we like to play. And we've had a great time. I mean, we would like to be able to do more, but that's the thing is, we've had labels come to us and talk to us about stuff, but unless it's just flat out, unless they are smart enough to say, you are the kings. You obviously know what you're doing. I'm just fucking lucky enough to have run into you. Here, take this money and do what you want to do. Then I'm not interested. No one's gonna tell me how to fucking write a song.
Or how to dress for that matter.
Yeah, how to present your show.
Or, yeah, how to cut my hair, how to dress, how to act. Oh, you should be nicer. You should fucking shut up.
I mean, it is. We know what to do, and I'm sure every band thinks that too. We know how to make our music.
But we
better.
do.
But we do.
CD here.
Right there.
Rama, Lama, Fa, Fa, Fa.
Yeah, people that hate us, they're jealous. But we've said that. We said that in the last interview. Anyone who doesn't like us is either a faggot or they're jealous. We said that. Really killed us with the fag crowd.
Jones?
Sexy. What are you gonna say?
Why do women feel that way? I'm fascinated by that.
He had, you know, it says blue eyes. You know what I mean? And he's just, it's not just, I mean, you know, I really respect Skid for speaking his mind, and he's very truthful, and I think he's very smart, and I don't know if he's given as much credit for that too. You know, sometimes I don't always agree with what he's saying, but it's very thought out, and it's very...
And it's funny.
And it's funny, yeah. And he's a teddy bear, if you know him. Go National is, you know, I love their songs. You know, Magnolia shows are just incredible to me. There's some, I have what I call like great moments of Old Ironsides. Moments of when they were Alice Cooper at one of the theme shows, I think, and they let the pillows fly.
Right, the feathers.
That was just so, yeah, the feathers fly. Oh God, that was the coolest thing. It made it a lot easier for me because Skid had already told me, you know, don't worry, I'm doing this and all, you know.
Clean it up. And
I'll clean it up, and they brought like a shop vac.
I play the guitar and I sing.
My name, do you have any other questions?
Oh, I will, but go ahead and identify
My name is Kevin
yourself.
Seconds. I'm a singer, guitar player for Go National, 7 Seconds, All Right Yes, and co-owner of the True Love Coffee House.
What about Skid Jones?
Whoa.
Well, why do we need
You
to
got
talk
an
about
hour?
him? He can talk about himself. You guys have so much in common. It's amazing. They're like brothers. It's true.
We both think we know everything.
I think Skid's a little more vocal about that.
Yeah, you're more self-effacing about that.
Skid's a little more willing to, he tells it like it is, and
Yeah.
I respect Skid a lot because he's just, you know, there's a lot of things that we probably disagree on and ways of handling stuff, but I love the fact that he's just willing to be just tell it like it is, and he's like one of the funniest guys. I mean, he's one of the funniest human beings to sit and hang out with and BS with. He's just he's a great listener, which I think a lot of people probably would never believe that.
That's
like
very true.
he's one of those guys where when he asks you a question, he listens and he totally is letting it sink in.
Bullshit.
Right.
Yeah,
He's
and
listening too.
You got a Jonesy Award from Skid Jones.
And Stan and I would make a weekly trip to Davis to go to the record store he worked at solely to buy the records that he was bringing in, like the Sonics and the Wailers and the Pebbles records and all that stuff. You couldn't find anywhere in Sacramento. And once we found out that they were at this place that he worked, and then years later I found out that he was the buyer, and we just connected. Hey, you were the guy that was ordering all that stuff, and you know, I still have tons of those records that I would go down and buy. And Skid was there, you know, in a way that I'm sure that influenced us way more than his being in the band ever did. That's why it's so flattering that he would give us an award. Because obviously the guy's taste goes way back, and he knows what he's talking about.
It just makes you feel something to the utmost degree, and wanting to run around the park and scream or whatever. That's what music is about.
It moves you in an essential way.
Yeah.
And in particular, live performances, right? I mean,
Live performances are really where it's at.
Magnolia Thunderfinger, you did a cover story for Sacramento News and Review.
Yeah.
What was that experience?
That experience was great, and I went into it pretty nervous. I didn't really know the guys in Magnolia that well. I was fairly intimidated by Skid at that point. You know, he's pretty mouthy. Or newsletter that they would put out, and one of the band members sent me one, and they had drawn a drawing of a hand like flipping me off basically and saying fuck you for never covering our band. Not exactly the most friendly way to introduce yourselves to somebody, but you know, I'd seen Magnolia. I thought they were great live, and Skid is definitely a smart person and really funny and very charismatic, and the whole band is charismatic. When you watch the whole band, it's like you can't keep your eyes off of them. So I had proposed doing this story on Magnolia and contacted Skid, and he was down for it, and I ended up spending time with them in their rehearsal space and doing some interviews, and then going to Skid and Jenny's house and interviewing them, and really getting to know Skid the person and Skid the rock star, and it was a great experience. It helped both build up the myth of Skid because it's like both demystify it and build it up at the same time. I mean, he's all that you see, and then he's so much more. He's also one of those people who has a really big heart, but I think he'd be mad if I just said that.
I don't know, 500 kids ages, 14 to 18, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How can you listen to that corn fucking shit? Look at you, what are you raising the roof for? That's not fucking decadent and dangerous. That's being sold to you.
Yeah.
You know? What's that fucking misdemeanor Elliot's doing fucking commercials for the Gap and Target? It's like, come on, if you're a fucking teenager, rebel. You know, I am a kid still.
Yeah.
I'm an old man, but I still feel the same as I did, except for the fact that all the other kids are fucking retards now.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You know, they just fucking buy into whatever's sold to them, and they think that they're dangerous, and they think it's like everyone is a fucking individual all together now. You know, all the shit that I got my fucking ass beat for fucking having a mohawk and a nose ring and shit when I was a kid. It meant something. I see kids, like I go to the mall and I see punk rockers now, and I look at them, they're like, what are you looking at, old man? I'm like, myself 20 years ago. Fuck, get an original idea.
Gentlemen, the album's called Almost Level with the Ground, and this is exactly the way it sounds.
Hi, this is the filmmaker Susanna Halfon. I wanted to share with you my conversation with a record industry insider from LA who spoke to me on the condition of anonymity. I played him the 3 self-produced finger CDs and showed him some of the live concert footage. He was impressed, said quite frankly that they were good and charismatic, and that had his label signed and promoted the finger, they could have easily gone gold or even platinum. That may be an educated speculation, but as Helen Keller once said, what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. So how long has it been since the band Magnolia Thunderfinger broke up?
A few years, you know, about 6 years. So, am I right? Am I math there?
Yeah, I think so. So, do you miss it? Do you miss
I miss playing those type of songs. I miss hanging with my friends. Miss playing with the guys that, you know, we kind of grew together. We kind of wrote together. We lived together, we slept together. We're not gay, but we're all brothers. I mean, that's the way that band was. It was just, you know, the basic band of brothers, you know, and I do miss that. I miss that camaraderie. You know, I don't think I'll ever get that back again. You know, it's one of those things that just, you know, you stew on sometimes, and you think, well, maybe there's another band out there I could get together with, and forget it. You know, it's not going to happen again. There's no point even trying to recreate it, because it's just one of those little sparks in life that you get, and sometimes it doesn't, you know, explode into flame, but like it should have. We tried to make it happen, but it didn't, and that is sad. You know, it makes me feel, you know, like we really missed the boat. I think if we were maybe 10 years younger, I think it might have happened, because we all had, you know, things, obligations, you know, but can't look back, you know.
I understand though that music labels did express some interest, but you didn't like the terms that they were offering.
Who would like the terms? I mean, if you're going to be a musician, I mean, the only terms are your own, and that's never going to happen, you know, with, you know, today's industry. And like I said, the whole magic of going down to the record store and buying vinyl and pulling it up and going, wow, that's a cool fucking album cover, man, and just sitting there and listening to it and playing it over and over again, and, you know, and checking out the album and reading all the credits, and that's gone. You don't get absorbed in the music anymore. That just, you know, it's unfortunate, but so I've kind of like turned my back on the creative part of music. So now we're, you know, I'm playing in a cover band now, you know.
It's a
playing
good cover band.
Classic rock cover band. But it's like playing, you know, like songs I played in my bedroom. It's, you know, the songs I love to play, and I'm doing it. Back then, with the Finger, we were doing that. We were trying to create bedroom songs. You know, we wanted songs that, you know, people would go, fuck, I want to learn this on guitar. That's the type of song you want to play. And, you know, I think we did. I think we got quite a few songs out like that, and just, you know, once again, it's like, you know, no one really saw it. It was like that little spark that didn't flame up. Oh, as far as the interest goes, yeah, I mean, if they have a spark of interest, if they look at you, you know, and they have any kind of reservations they pass on you, they'll never look at you again. And that's what happened to us, because we were obviously looked at, I think, when we first started to kind of break and play up and down the coast. We started to get a lot of recognition, and I think there was, I don't know what it was, I don't know if it was just because we couldn't be categorized, we couldn't be thrown in like a rockabilly category or a punk rock category or a rock, you know, category. So we were just kind of in no man's land.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was hard to get booked. We would play with everybody. We'd play with the Paladins. We'd play with Super Suckers. We'd play with the, you know, Tenderloin. You know, we'd open for Wayne Kramer. So I mean, it was just all over the board. No one knew where to put us. And that was a big downfall.
Well, and that's the title of your second CD.
Yeah. How cool is that?
I miss the guys. I miss hanging out with the guys and having friends. And every once in a while, I miss getting the attention, being in front of people and having people clap. That was nice. But I don't miss the traveling, and I don't miss the hard work, and I don't miss practicing when it's super cold or when it's super hot. I wish that those guys were famous, because they're fantastic musicians and they're fantastic men.
How did you feel when it ended?
Relieved. Even though it started out as this idea of like, we're just gonna do fucking shit our way and whatever. And was my intention. In the back of my head, and I know in the back of their heads, it was like, someone's gonna fucking get this. Someone's gonna fucking pick us up. Someone's gonna give us money and let us just do it our way. The cocky did. It's like, well, fuck it. I'd already been through it. Hey, if we can do it this way, sure. And they're like, oh, no one can do it that way. Well, then go fuck yourself. No. So that's why we started our own label, and that's why we put out our own records and toured on our own. It was like, we were a little
too self-righteous. I mean,
Magnolia Thunderfinger was the best thing I ever did. It was the best thing I'll ever do. Nobody cared, and that's okay. I did. And it didn't just mean something to me, it meant everything to me. It was my life. And I don't regret 1 second of it. But it's over. And if you can't admit that something has run its course, you're an even sadder man than I am. I'm okay with it. It was wonderful. I love those guys. Most people don't get that. I was lucky. So, if I think about it, I would sit and cry all the time.
so there you go. The end.
Save your breath, baby. Walk away, because I don't believe in making people believe in. Listen to whatever I say. If I ain't about it, it's too hard to lie in. Please just keep it out of my way. Yeah, yeah. Somebody's making a difference, but it ain't me. 'Cause I'm just eating the children, baby, you can't feed. But if you need to make it count,
He's tall, he's dark, he's handsome. He's one hell of a man, my best friend in the entire world. Please give a nice hand to the T-Bone.